just take it back. Remember how fun it was to open up a box of crayons and you couldn't wait to dive into all those fun colors and how you're gonna make this blank page in your coloring book come to life. Well, ladies, we can do that with makeup crayons. Sounds interesting? It can't get any easier. Keep watching.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Oh my gosh, like this is so exciting. Guys, I love when something kind of comes to the forefront and it's like, oh, genius. Just one more thing to make it just a little bit more easier and fun. That's the icing on the cake to get your makeup on, right? Okay, I've got some stuff to show you today. For the sake of saving some time on this video, applied like my foundation. Okay, foundation, that's kind of getting most of your makeup on, right? Like the foundation before the fun colors come on, and that's kind of hard to do with a crayon or a pencil, right? So again, for just the sake of time, I put on like my foundation. As you know, it's time to get the hair back, right? When you know I'm gonna get the hair back, it's time to get busy. Okay, now, for those of you that may be new to this channel, and if you are, put in your comments, okay, kind of what made you stop to watch this video, or how did you come across it? You've been here around here before. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like this video if you found something informative or fun to watch, and hit that subscribe button, right? Okay. Guys, like I said, if you've been here, you know the love for Seint makeup that I have. I have been a Advent user for about 5 years, and really two things that struck me when it came to this particular style of makeup was the simplicity of it, right? Because it really can't get any more easier. But of course, they have with the crayons. But it all came in like one palette, guys. First of all, this palette, I believe it's up on the site. I will check, and if it is, I'll put it down below here, that if it's available. But I remember when this palette came out, I think it was either when I first started and I didn't get my hands on it, but I loved the kind of foiled gold in between like the cracks to this. I'm a sucker for a really good palette. I don't know about you, but when you think palette, what do you think of? You think of either eyeshadow, right? Because it comes in a palette with several colors. That's kind of it. A compact is usually like a powder, if you're from back in the day, like old school like I am, or a blush, right? You call that a palette, a compact. But wouldn't it be so cool to have like all of your makeup, all of it, in one palette? Now this particular one is 2 layers. Again, the reason why I was just so interested in this makeup when I first saw it, because I didn't see anything like it in the market, by far. But guys, just recently, within the last, I want to say 6-7 weeks, Seint did it again, and they dropped pencil/crayons to add to the fun. So let's get into this. I just, again, have my foundation on. Now, the one thing for me personally, we all have our personal unique styles as far as applying our makeup. I like to use bronzer to warm my face up. Now that's going to be a little bit difficult to do with a crayon when it comes to like having everything warmed up. Perfect example. My face now doesn't quite match like my chest. Just ignore all these little red dots and stuff. That's just like from the autoimmune issue that I have. But I mean, like, the tone, right, is clearly a little bit more, a shade more lighter than like my face. I'm taking this particular color. I know it looks very intense in the tin, but the whole, I think, tip or trick when it comes to creams, especially with Seint, because they are very pigmented, is to take on the brush as less as possible. So you're not swiping into your tin, but just kind of like tapping into it, so that then you can little by little build that up. If you need any help ever with trying to figure out what your tones are, you may say, Lisa, okay, that's your shade. What about me? Okay, there's two ways you can do that. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I thought it's worth mentioning. To get a color match with Seint, you can do it two different ways. You can either have a personal match done by me, and that is so simple. I always, in the bottom of my description, have a color match link that all you simply do is click on that link, read the instructions. Very simple. You need to take the picture makeup free in front of an open window, not outside or not in your car, because those are going to give different shadows on your face, where I want to see clarity so that I can see any of those differentiating tones on your skin, like what you would need specifically. Because Seint makeup is so different, you typically are not going to have one color. You know, you go out to the store, your favorite makeup, shop, and you typically go and look for a bottle that's going to go close to your and match your own skin tone. Well, the thing about that, and I'm not trying to knock a foundation that's in a bottle. Okay, that's not my point. What I'm just trying to say is, if you look at your face, 9 out of 10, you're not going to have one shade of tone on your face. Usually there's one or two, whatever that is. Maybe you have hyperpigmentation, maybe you have certain shadows, your under eyes may be a little bit darker, your nose may be a little bit of a different shade than your cheeks and your forehead, all of it. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm picking out 2 or 3 shades that are going to help you get your best foundation to your skin tone. So you can do it that way, where you stand in front of a window, you take that picture about maybe 2 or 3 feet away, stand away from the window, make sure that your camera, because you're doing this off your personal camera, hold it out, snap that picture, and then you just submit that to me. I'm the only one, the only eyes that will get to see that picture, okay? And trust me, there's no judgment. I mean, I've seen all kinds of faces without makeup. I show you mine here all the time without makeup. So again, no judgment. So you can do it that way, or you can go ahead and go to the site, my website, as far as Seint, and there's an actual click button that will show you, and it'll say find your shade. You click that and just keep following the prompts on that, where you're getting someone that may have close to your personal skin tone, and they will ask you questions, and you can then just basically get like the shades that are going to go well with your skin tone. What my advice is, do it where I can personally do your personal match, because then you're going to get a more, in my opinion, accurate shade color. But then if you don't, you get me personally as like your kind of side-by-side person that will walk you through it, and we can communicate and just get you to love this makeup as much as I do. Okay, moving along from that. So let's get into, oh my gosh, like these amazing crayons. Guys, that's what you're here for, right? Now I have several of the different colors. Before I explain to you what the colors are that I have, let me explain to you when you go on the site and the difference of a satin color versus a silk color. So when you see silk, okay, because when you go on the site and you look for the pencil / crayons, you're going to see where you can either click to a silk or a satin. The silk colors are going to be colors that are going to stay put. What do I mean by that? It's not budging, guys. I thought that was just an exaggeration, honestly, when I first saw this. And then I was like, So let me show you with this one. This one's called Latte, okay? And I tell you, it will stay budged. It will stay budged. This is Latte. Gorgeous color, first of all. So once you place it, if you want to choose this color for defining anything from a contour to like a more chiseled cheek, and I'm going to show you the color that I've chosen for me. This can be someone else's color. Again, it's called Latte, but you can use it to line out your brows. These are places, is what I'm trying to say. The silk shades, any of the silk shades are colors that once you place it, guys, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I put this on my hand and I was swatching colors. I washed my hands at least 3 times. It would not come off. Like I had to really scrub it off with like a loofah to get it off. So silk, remember, is more something that will last throughout the day until you are ready to take that makeup off, okay? So lip lining, eye lining, okay? Again, filling in your brows, is that's what you choose. Maybe have a contoured cheek. So good for that. So again, this is the Latte, okay? Where did I put my cover? Here it is. And I started out with the Latte and also this other shade called Chai. Chai, let me show you next to it. It's a little more lighter in tone. It's got like a little bit of a gray color to it. They look very similar, but Chai has got, I don't know, in my opinion, it's got more like a grayness to it. I've used Chai personally for lip lining my lips, and I'm going to show you that when I'm ready to do my lips. But the one that I just got, guys, that's a silk, is Cinnamon. I have to say, it's my favorite for contouring my cheeks. This is clearly, from the 3 I have, the most one that looks like a brown, actual brown color. You can clearly tell on the 3 of those, right? Love this Cinnamon. Again, it's just gonna depend. If you've got my skin tone, this is the color for you. And I think you can still make it work if you're a shade or a shade and a half lighter than myself, because this is the secret that I have said as far as using your silk, especially if you're going to use it as a contour. So let me demonstrate. I would have a brush handy. Like as soon as you draw in that area of contour, you want to start blending. You need to start blending, or else you're going to have a line on your face. So I just take the crayon and I will kind of zigzag where I want that contour, but immediately I'm going in there and I am going to contour out that cheek. And this is not gonna go anywhere, guys. I'm telling you, once you use that crayon to color in that specific area on your face that you want the contour on, baby, you've got contoured chiseled cheeks the rest of the day. Look how pretty that is. I mean, talk about defined cheekbones, right? Same thing on the other side. I just use enough exactly. And you know what makes this fun too? Not only are you just coloring in your shades on your face, right? But you have control. With a crayon or a pencil, however you want to call it, you have control as far as where that's landing, right? If you're trying to use, let's say, I don't know, a liquid or a powder, it's kind of more difficult, in my opinion, to kind of control where that's going to go. This allows you that control. But look how pretty. And I've got contoured cheeks. Now, same thing if I want to contour my nose. I'm just taking the other side of the same brush. If you like this, if you want a brush like this, guys, this one is called the detailed brush. So I'm doing one at a time, one side at a time, because again, I want to make sure that I am blending that in before it actually dries down. Not really dries down, because again, these are creams, right? This is just a stick cream form in a way. But I want to make sure that I am contouring that side or that side of the nose. Again, it makes it so much easier to know how to contour. Do you guys have a hard time doing that? Like how to contour a nose out, or like exactly placement with these crayons is going to be so much easier. Look at that. It just, I don't know, it makes it so much easier to do that if you struggle with it. Okay, so two of my favorite places before, and I'm going to show you try on my lips, but let me show you another area to contour. If you have how do I say this? I don't want it to make it sound offensive in any way. But if you have a large forehead, it is what it is, right? Nothing wrong with that. But you may want to frame your face out a little differently. That's where you contour. I don't personally have one, but if you do, one way that will help that is if you're taking that same contour and you're just right below the hairline, right? You're just dotting it. Again, I always like to start off small and then work that. If I have to add more, then I add more. It's easier to adjust with adding versus having to overblend. But look at that. It will make it seem like your forehead is a lot smaller. Didn't know if you knew that. Hope that was a tip for you. If it felt like it was, leave it in the comments below and tell me, Lisa, thanks for that tip. I had no idea to do that. Okay, so this again is cinnamon. Love me some cinnamon. Okay, let me go ahead now and get into some of the colors that are satin, okay? So the satin now are the ones that are blendable, okay? These are the ones that you can use for an eyeshadow, for a blush color, for a lip color, you name it. Anywhere you want to splash some color on your face, you can use the satin ones, okay? So those are the ones. Now they're gonna have the stain power on your face, but not like the silk ones, okay? The satin ones, you can adjust to either deepen the color as much as you want or pull back, but they're blendable, okay? So let me show you what I mean by that. Let me go ahead and do it. Before I do the shadow, let me show you what the cheeks would look like. So I still haven't even taken these out of the box. They're so new. This one here is called Mulberry. And with the crayons, you're gonna see that the end of it, okay, which is the side that you're able to adjust to bring the pencil or the crayon up, is going to have the color closest to what the color is. So this is Mulberry. Mulberry, not only is this a perfect color any time of year, but when I think mulberry, I just think holidays, right? It is truly like the color that goes well from October, which we just left like literally a few days ago, into the season of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Mulberry. So let me swatch mulberry over here, and you can see that now that's got a power punch of some reddish, like burgundy, right? It just screams holiday. So I will use mulberry on my cheeks, and I will start off again, just a lighter touch, right? And I can build. If I want more, then I clearly just add as I go. But I start out with just placing that on the apple of my cheeks. And again, ladies, if you are or have mature skin, work that brush up towards the temple, right? From the cheek bone up towards the temple of your face, and it helps bring that up. Because I don't know about you, but everything is going south. Especially once you hit a certain age. So just another tip trick, right? Press on the actual right cheekbone up to the temple of your face, and just have that go back up, right? So look how pretty that is. Again, I can go back in if I feel like I over blended that out and just add a little bit more. I think I might have done that in just doing like the demonstration. So I can go back and just, one of the secrets that you will tell with these, I've noticed, is that if you press, like right now I'm just pressing. See how I'm leaving a little bit more of a staying powder versus when I swirl. If I swirl, I seem to over blend. So if you press, another tip, you may have a little bit more of the color stay on your cheeks. And you can even add a little bit of that on your nose. I just like that too. Such a pretty color, guys. So this one is mulberry. Okay, let's get into brownie, which is the one that I am using and I have used on the eyelids for a very, I don't know, natural, neutral color. So let me swatch brownie. It's like one of the colors I think that is very used with most shades of any color, right, that you are. Whether you're darker, whether you're lighter, it's just gonna go so well. It is what you would call your typical brown color. It is the brownest from all the little strips here that I have. So another satin. This is one that's also very blendable. And again, I think it is really pretty using it as an eyeshadow. So you can dot this on, you can bring it across on your lid, whatever's your preference, and then just take your brush and swirl, right? If you are like me and have your eyes starting to hood down, what do I mean by hood down? Just, you know, this top of your skin is starting to like pull down onto your lid. You want to bring that color like in your crease and above. It's just gonna really help show that color on your lid. And just leave the brow bone alone. I'm gonna show you what I do on the brow bone, and that's gonna also help just showcase this lid color a little bit more. Let me just keep adding. This is the fun thing about coloring, guys, right? Think about that. Like I said in the opening, what do you do with the colors in your coloring box? Sometimes you're like, ooh, I want to add a splash of this color. That's the thing and beauty about being an artist, right? It's like you're gonna do it to satisfy the look you want. Now you can see how not much of a deeper color than this, but I've got a little color on there. Just a splash of dimension on that lid. And same thing on this side. So I go in, color my lid. It doesn't get any difficult than this, guys. Like truly. Like this is so much fun. It's so much fun. It's like just when you were a little kid and your parents will tell you, don't draw on that wall. Don't draw on your clothes. Well, now who's gonna stop you? Draw on your face. Go, I dare you. Let's bring the color in. Oh my gosh. It looks messy, but who cares? You're drawing outside the lines, but who cares? You're an artist. You can do this. Okay. Have the color on there. Now, this can be used on your cheeks if you want to go with a more warmer color instead of that mulberry. You can definitely use brownie, right? I'm just showing it as an eyeshadow. On your lips, if you like those warm brown colors, use it on your lips, right? I'm gonna go with another color that I'm gonna mention at the end, but I can easily use brownie on my lips if that's what I choose. But to add then like a color onto and make that brown like pop a little bit, make it look a little bit more obvious. This is when I'm taking like a light color of eyeshadow, and this one's called Drift, guys. So I'm just popping this like on my brow, and it will immediately give that eye such a look. Such a look. Look at that. Now tell me that doesn't sparkle. Okay, so on the brow bone, this is Drift again. Love me some Drift. And then on the tear duct, I don't know, it just adds a nice little kind of like sparkly iridescent color. And then that's it for that. Okay, let me show you Taffy. Taffy is another satin color, which again, you can use if you like, even under eye lining. Maybe you want to do that. Keep it like really subtle. Look how pretty that is. Again, this is made putting on your makeup so much easier. So much easier. I like a soft underliner versus black. If you love black, rock it. You can. I love a more softer eyeliner. So that one's Taffy. But guys, before I put on these colors, now what I'm going to show you is not a crayon, but I have to mention them because if you are a lip galley like I am, you have got to try these lip gelatos. They are beyond gorgeous. Not only do they look beautiful, but they feel luxurious. And I am always forever struggling with keeping like my lips hydrated. I don't know about you, and this has nothing to do with like the climate that you're in. Although of course, if you are, and you are typically in this season now where it's colder, windy, your lips are gonna be almost just definitely dehydrated, and you need to hydrate them. But I don't live in a cold environment. So if I'm struggling with this, and it's probably because of age, where I just need like just put it and suck it in my veins, all the hydration that I can have, this is gonna be your gloss. And they're called gelatos. Gelatos. Okay, for some reason that didn't sound right. Before I show you my two that I have, and there are other shades, okay? I'm gonna put a picture here of all the different shades this comes in so you can choose your favorite. I started out with a little lighter one, but I'm gonna show you the one that I have. Let me line my lips. I'm gonna fast forward this because you really don't have to like, this is like where it's hard for me to talk, right? As I line my lips. And so, yeah, you don't need to like. Okie doke, here is raspberry gelato. Okay, same concept as the crayons, that it has the color of the gloss at the tip. Okay, look at this. Another great color when it comes to this time of year. This is so, oh my gosh, I can't even describe to you how it feels. I wish that you can actually like feel it now. But it goes on so smoothly. From like the first coat, you have that color that wows you. This is raspberry. Look at that. Tell me this doesn't scream a gorgeous holiday color. Again, it comes in other shades. Let me show you the first one that I ever got, which is this shade here. You can see it's more like a mauve kind of color, mauve-y. But this one is called, let me see if I can find, Cocoa Marrow. I saw it and I was like, that's my color. Because if you know me, guys, I love me a very neutral, natural color. So this one here is Cocoa Marrow. Look at that. Oh. And I can go and put this on with one coat and have it look like a very light-handed, softest coloring to your lip color, like a pink soft color, or I can deepen it and make it like mauve. It clicks up. You can actually hear that. And just do a little at a time, okay? Because you cannot bring it back. So don't over click or else you're gonna bring it super high. But just enough to like feel the color, the product, and maybe like the actual tubing on your lips, because it will just melt onto your lips. So good. Okay, so again, this one is Cocoa Marrow, the first one I got, and then raspberry. So if you're like, you know what, which one should I choose? Get yourself two. Like, get one that you can wear maybe like every day, because I always have Cocoa Marrow in my purse. I just love to put it on because I need to hydrate my lips, right? And then have one to dress up, like when you want to, you know, really kind of go out of town. So two, but again, so many colors. Okay, that is my spiel, guys, on the crayons. What did you think? Did you like the ones that I showed you? Which ones are the ones that kind of caught your eye? Which one looks like you would like to try? Drop it in the comments. What do you think about the simplicity of like just putting on a face of makeup with crayons, right? Having fun again, just exploring and just coloring in those colors and then blending them with your favorite makeup brush, right? Any questions at all, guys? Any at all? Leave them in the comments below. Go to the sites, look around, check out all the new things that are there. I believe that by the time I put this down, there's going to be another drop coming for the holidays. I'll get back to you on that. But for now, you can go ahead and choose some of these colors to introduce to your makeup. It doesn't have to be like you have to choose from what you're using to what I've showed, because this is just the fun color stuff, right? But if you do want to try Seint makeup as a makeup foundation, I gave you those deets at the beginning of this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like this video, give it some love, and also subscribe to the channel. Sorry I haven't been here in a little bit. I can get back to you maybe in another week or two and explain to you somewhat of why my absence was here for about a month, almost two. If you're interested in that, leave it in the comments below and I'll come back to you and share that with you while I explore another kind of makeup or skincare regimen. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Love you so much. Thanks again for being here, and I will catch you next week.